Stop letting insults hijack your mind. When someone attacks your intelligence, calling you naive, foolish, or stupid, your instinct is either to shrink or snap. Both are traps. Stoics knew this. Your power lies not in controlling what others say, but in controlling your response. Every insult is a test of discipline. Every condescension is an invitation to demonstrate true strength. You cannot afford hesitation. You cannot afford to fumble. The moment someone tries to diminish you, your response must be deliberate, controlled, and strategically intelligent. This isn't about ego. It's about defending your mind, your dignity, and your presence. You must transform every attack into an opportunity to rise above. Understand this fundamental truth. Insults are rarely about you. They are a mirror of weakness in the insulter. They lash out because of insecurity, fear, or a need to dominate. Marcus Aurelius faced rivals who mocked his intellect, yet he never mirrored their venom. He wrote, "Choose not to be harmed, and you won't be." Every word they throw is a test. Will you react emotionally, or will you respond with composure and strategic clarity? Stoic mastery begins with awareness. Their attack has no inherent power unless you grant it. Your first act of discipline is to pause. Resist reflexive defense. Resist anger. Your mind is the battlefield, and control is your weapon. Your first strategy, the intellectual mirror. When someone attacks your intelligence, reflect the question back with precision. Don't counterattack. Don't apologize. Instead, make them demonstrate their claim. Ask, "What makes you say that?" Or, "Help me understand your perspective." This does three things at once. It exposes their shallow reasoning. It shows your calm curiosity, and it positions you as someone in control. Seneca taught that wisdom is proven in action, not words. By forcing them to clarify, you shift the burden of proof onto the attacker. They must justify themselves or reveal their insecurity. You stay unshaken. You stay dignified. Your intelligence speaks without raising your voice. Second strategy, the assumption analyzer. Most insults are built on assumptions, not facts. When someone says you don't understand or aren't capable, your response should dissect their logic. Ask, "That's an interesting claim. What led you to that conclusion?" This isn't confrontation, it's investigation. Epictetus taught that every judgment must be examined before acceptance. By challenging assumptions, you reveal the weakness behind their words while demonstrating superior critical thinking. Their attack becomes data for your analysis. They wanted to make you feel small. Instead, you turn the interaction into an evidence-based evaluation of their reasoning. Calm, controlled, unassailable. Third strategy, the social scanner. Insults rarely exist in a vacuum. They are part of social dynamics. Observe carefully. What motivates the attack? Jealousy, insecurity, ego posturing. By stepping back and analyzing their behavior, you rise above the emotional trap. Instead of reacting, comment on the pattern. I find it interesting that the focus shifted to personal attacks rather than the issue itself. This exposes their immaturity without aggression and signals to everyone that you operate from a higher, strategic perspective. Marcus Aurelius taught that observing human behavior objectively is a mark of virtue. You turn petty attacks into lessons in social intelligence. Strategy alone is useless without execution. Let's ground these Stoic strategies in reality. Imagine a team meeting. A colleague rolls their eyes and dismisses your proposal as obviously wrong. Most people fume or retreat. You respond with the intellectual mirror. "Help me understand what concerns you specifically." Instantly, the room observes the shift. The attacker is now on the defensive, forced to explain themselves, while your calm control signals competence. This is discipline in action. It isn't showmanship, it's mastery over the mind. You are demonstrating that intelligence is measured by curiosity, clarity, and composure, not loudness or aggression. Here's the assumption analyzer in practice. During a project review, your manager dismisses your plan. You clearly don't understand the market. Most people respond defensively. You ask instead, "That's an interesting observation. Can you walk me through what led you to that conclusion?" Watch closely. They either reveal solid reasoning, giving you valuable insight, or expose that their comment was baseless. Either outcome strengthens your position. Stoic wisdom teaches that the measure of intelligence is not avoiding criticism. It's examining it with logic. Your calm, analytical approach turns their attack into an opportunity for clarity, learning, and demonstrating superior judgment. Now see the social scanner at work. In a group discussion, someone insults your perspective to assert dominance. You clearly don't get how this works. Instead of reacting, you observe the behavior. You respond. I notice the conversation shifted to personal criticism rather than the issue itself. Let's focus on the idea at hand. You immediately elevate the discussion. Others see who is petty and who is disciplined. Your attacker becomes a case study in poor communication, while you remain composed and authoritative. Stoics like Marcus Aurelius emphasized observing others objectively. By doing so, you demonstrate intelligence, emotional control, and strategic awareness without ever stooping to insult. Fourth strategy, the gracious acknowledgement. True confidence doesn't need to prove itself. It simply exists. When someone attacks your intellect, respond with calm recognition. I appreciate your perspective. That's it. No defensiveness, no sarcasm, no emotional reaction. Seneca taught that virtue lies in maintaining inner calm regardless of external chaos. By acknowledging their words without conceding ground, you demonstrate emotional and intellectual security. The attacker expects a reaction, a spark to feed their ego. Instead, you offer equanimity. Their aggression looks petty. Your composure radiates authority. This is the ultimate psychological disarm. Your silence, paired with acknowledgement, signals strength far greater than words can convey. Here's the gracious acknowledgement in action. During a family discussion, a relative belittles your expertise. You don't understand this at all. Let the adults handle it. Most would either argue or shrink. You calmly respond, I appreciate your perspective. Then you continue the discussion with someone else's input. The room immediately senses who carries composure and who relies on attacks to assert dominance. The aggressor is left exposed, speechless, ineffective, and visibly insecure. Meanwhile, your credibility rises without a single combative word. Marcus Aurelius wrote about maintaining virtue in the face of hostility. This is precisely that principle in practice. Grace under fire. Mindset is the foundation. Before executing any strategy, internalize this truth. No insult has power over you unless you grant it. Your intelligence, your value, your dignity, they are yours, independent of external opinion. Stoics like Epictetus emphasize that external events are neutral. It is your judgment that assigns meaning. Every attack is a mirror, reflecting the attacker's weaknesses, not your own. Adopt the perspective of the observer. Watch, analyze, respond deliberately. Your mind becomes a fortress, impervious to petty attempts at dominance. Discipline your emotions, sharpen your awareness, and commit to seeing insults as opportunities to demonstrate composure, wisdom, and strategic superiority. Every insult carries hidden power if you know how to use it. The core principle: turn attacks into advantages. When someone tries to diminish you, it is an opportunity to display intellect, self-control, and strategic thinking. Each condescending word is data. Each belittling comment is a chance to expose weakness in reasoning, reveal insecurity, and strengthen your own credibility. The Stoics mastered this by responding with calm precision and observation rather than emotion. Your mission: extract value from every insult. Transform their aggression into proof of your discipline. Let their attacks serve your growth, not your humiliation. This is the mindset of unshakable individuals who thrive under pressure. Fear and emotional hijacking are your enemies in these moments. When someone insults your intelligence, your brain may scream to lash out or retreat. That is weakness speaking. The Stoics trained themselves to intercept this reaction immediately. Pause, breathe, anchor yourself in rational observation. Ask, is this insult based on fact or assumption? Separate the personal from the tactical. Your goal is never to fight emotionally, but to respond strategically. Emotional reactions validate the attacker. Rational, composed responses expose them. Discipline yourself to remain untouchable in the moment. Your calm is a weapon, your observation, armor. This is the battlefield of intellect. And mastery begins with control over your own mind. Mastery lies in integration. No single strategy is enough. True dominance comes from combining approaches seamlessly. Start with the intellectual mirror. Ask them to clarify. Layer in the assumption analyzer. Dissect the logic behind their claim. Apply the social scanner. Observe motives and dynamics. Close with gracious acknowledgement. Signal emotional security and authority. Each move amplifies the next. Creating a chain reaction, the attacker is exposed at every level: rhetoric, logic, and behavior. You remain composed, curious, and strategically superior. Like a Stoic general, you wield multiple tools with precision. turning chaos into clarity. Every insult becomes a demonstration of your discipline, intelligence, and unshakable presence. Here's a real-world execution of combined strategies. In a corporate meeting, a senior colleague dismisses your proposal. You clearly don't understand how this market works. You respond with the intellectual mirror. Help me understand your perspective. They offer assumptions. You deploy the assumption analyzer. Which data points lead you to that conclusion? Their logic falters. You scan social dynamics. I notice we're focusing on personal criticism rather than the strategy itself. Finally, you conclude with gracious acknowledgement. I appreciate your perspective. The room watches as composure, logic, and discipline outshine aggression. The attacker's authority collapses. Yours rises. This is Stoic strategy applied with ruthless precision. Execution without resilience fails under pressure. To respond effectively, you must train your mind before the attack ever comes. Rehearse composure. Visualize insults and your controlled responses. Build the reflex of calm curiosity. Stoics like Marcus Aurelius emphasized premeditatio malorum, anticipating challenges so they don't surprise you. When the real insult arrives, your response is automatic, not reactive. You are unshakable because your discipline precedes the chaos. Your mind doesn't just survive the attack, it thrives on it. Every verbal assault becomes an arena for demonstrating intelligence, emotional control, and strategic superiority. You internalize resilience, making every encounter an opportunity to solidify authority. Persistent critics are the ultimate test. Some will attack repeatedly, hoping to break you down. Your response must be consistent, methodical, and unyielding. Apply your strategies every time. Mirror, analyze, scan, acknowledge. Never deviate. Each repetition reinforces your authority and exposes their insecurity. The Stoics practiced constancy and virtue, regardless of provocation. Like a rock in a storm, your demeanor never shifts. Every failed attempt by the critic only magnifies your discipline and intelligence. Do not engage emotionally. Do not over-explain. Let your calm, analytical, and gracious responses build a reputation that discourages future attacks. Repetition becomes your strongest defense. Every attack is an opportunity to enhance your credibility and authority publicly. How you respond signals to observers who holds true intelligence and composure. When you remain calm, ask precise questions, and redirect the discussion strategically. Others see your mastery, not the attacker's aggression. Stoics understood that reputation is shaped by consistent virtue and visible discipline. Your grace under fire tells everyone, this person is in control, confident, and unshakable. The attacker, by contrast, exposes insecurity and pettiness. Use every insult as a stage to demonstrate rationality, emotional intelligence, and strategic thought. Your reputation becomes armor that precedes and protects you. Prevention is a weapon. Once you consistently respond with composure, analysis, and grace, you signal to potential attackers that their tactics won't succeed. Your demeanor communicates attacks won't provoke you, assumptions will be dissected, and insecurity will be exposed. Most people avoid repeated confrontation when they see their attempts fail. Stoics called this living in accordance with reason, aligning your actions to your values and principles, letting them guide every interaction. By maintaining unwavering discipline, you teach others that aggression is futile. Your psychological presence alone deters attacks before they happen. You don't wait for insults, you preempt them with authority. Dominance without inner peace is hollow. True mastery comes from remaining calm while asserting authority. Your goal isn't to humiliate the attacker, it's to demonstrate intelligence, control, and discipline. Marcus Aurelius wrote that inner tranquility is the highest virtue, untouched by the chaos of others. When you respond thoughtfully, dissect assumptions, and acknowledge perspectives with grace, you maintain serenity while projecting unshakable power. Attackers expect chaos, emotion, or defensiveness. Instead, you embody calm superiority. Your mind becomes untouchable, your presence commanding, and your reputation unassailable. Discipline over self equals dominance over circumstance. Consistency is everything. To make these strategies permanent, you must practice relentlessly. Every discussion, every critique, every slight becomes training ground. Rehearse the intellectual mirror, the assumption analyzer, the social scanner, and gracious acknowledgement until they are instinctive. Reflect daily. How did you respond? Where could you improve? The Stoics emphasized habitual practice. Virtue becomes second nature through repetition. Over time, insults no longer shake you. Criticism becomes fuel for growth. Your mind, once reactive, becomes proactive, strategic, and disciplined. You stop being a target and start being a measured force in every interaction. Mastery is the result of relentless, conscious practice. This is the final truth. Your intelligence, dignity, and discipline are non-negotiable. The world will test you relentlessly through insults, condescension, and hidden attacks. Stoicism teaches that your power lies in response, not in circumstance. Use the strategies you've learned. Mirror, analyze assumptions, scan behavior, and acknowledge graciously. Combine them with relentless mental preparation and unwavering consistency. Let every attack become an arena for mastery. Every insult, a lesson in control. You will no longer be caught speechless, humiliated, or reactive. You will operate with precision, authority, and calm dominance. Take this seriously. Practice daily. Embody these principles and become unshakable. Your mind is your kingdom. Defend it ruthlessly. Share your experiences in the comments below. How have you handled criticism or attacks on your intelligence? Your story can inspire and empower others who are learning to rise above. If you found value in this video, give it a like. Subscribe to Stoic Power Lab for daily wisdom, and share it with someone who needs to hear this message. Every small action builds a community of disciplined, resilient minds. Thank you for listening, and remember, strength begins in the mind.